We are about to embark upon a series of strange and exciting, dangerous adventures. Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Ninjak issue 1. This is a 2021 series from Valiant, written by Jeff Parker, art by Javier Pulido, Dave Sharpe with Javier Pulido on letters, cover by David Nakayama. Cover's great. I like that. It's action oriented. You see him coming through a skylight. It's really cool looking. Don't get used to that. So we start off with a couple guys in a bar talking and somebody's spying on them. One of the people is this lady with apparently psychic powers and she can read minds or something. And that leads to some serious problems, of course. Then we cut over to Istanbul, where this guy has some sort of handheld saw. Not clear on what kind, but a big Dremel or something. And he's about to kill this journalist guy. And that's when Ninjak shows up to stop him. And we learn that Colin King, Ninjak, has been going freelance and mostly doing a lot of charity type stuff that MI6 would have sent him on anyway. And they were hoping to bring him back into the fold. But now things are even worse because it looks like a lot of operatives have been outed all around the world. So MI6 is about to lose a whole bunch of people. Ninjak shows up and saves some lady with a nose ring from something. And some bad guys show up when he tries to escort this lady back to MI6. And of course she has the typical hero haircut where the hair's flopped over on one side to show that she's a strong independent woman that don't need no man. And we get some kind of generic villains that aren't really introduced. The premise of the story's fine. It's kind of a mediocre read, but the art is the worst part. It is so awful. These weird pop art panels with solid backgrounds are boring. It just doesn't work. The art is cartoonish at best and it's hideous at worst. Everything about the way that the scenes are done is really reminiscent of old pop art and it's just not good. It's very blocky. It looks amateurish and on a lot of panels it looks kind of lazy too. There's no background detailing at all in a lot of these. There's just solid color. And when there is background detailing, it's very light and generic looking. You see some outlines of buildings or some clotheslines, and a lot of things are done in shadows, probably to cut corners. Also, one of my complaints would be that I had an entire page where a giant ink streak went down the sides, so there's art is disrupted. So even if I did like the art, that would have made me mad because that's quality control issues. This paper is really, really thin. It feels very, very cheap when you touch it, and it's easily wrinkled. So not a big fan of that. I thought the art was trash. The story was only mediocre. This is a huge miss for me. I think the story would have worked with better art. If they'd hired the cover artist to do the interior art, it probably would have been a lot better because the story's got potential, except for the annoying lady with the hero haircut. I think that's going to be very, very irritating in future issues. So I'm not going to pick up another issue of this. I was really disappointed with what I found here. I was willing to give it a try, but the art is just garbage. Amateur hour. The colors are awful choices too. They don't match. There's lots of oranges and reds and pinks that don't make any sense for the panel they're in. Every now and then the coloring does make sense, but most of the time it doesn't, and it's done strictly to seemingly offend your eyes because your eyes have trouble adjusting from panel to panel. You go from a teal panel to a bright orange or a pumpkin colored one, and it just is jarring, and it's very difficult to process what you're looking at. It might work for pop art. It doesn't really work for comics. This looked lazy all around. So with only a mediocre story and garbage art, the only redeeming thing here was really the cover. That was well done, but that's not enough to sell me on this book. So I'm not getting another issue of this, and I would recommend a pass on this one. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links to my Teespring store, Patreon, and Streamlabs are all listed in the description. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.